In this lesson, we'll be talking about a ratio change. So it's the ratio of change in y over the change in x. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to use similar triangles to determine the vertical change over the horizontal change and determine the slope given 2 points of a line. So slope is the ratio of the height to base of that triangle in simplest form. We can also say it's the units up and down on the units to the right. We could say it's the difference in the y values over the difference in the x values. So this symbol right here, this triangle, is actually the Greek letter delta, and delta means change. So the change in y over the change in x. We could have positive or negative slope. Our positive slope slants up and to the right, and this is when both the numerator and the denominator are positive, or if they're both negative. So for example, if we had the slope of 2 over 3, that's positive slope, or if we had negative 4 over negative 3, that's also positive, because negative divided by negative is positive. And notice the line, how it's going up and to the right. That's positive slope. We also have negative slope, which slants down and to the right. And in this case, the numerator or the denominator are negative, not both, but either one. So for example, if we had the slope of negative 2 over 3, that's a negative slope, or we have 4 over negative 3, that's negative slope, or sometimes you'll see the negative sign out here in front of the fraction. Any three of those situations is a negative slope. Notice the line is going down and to the right. There are two other kinds of slopes that we don't use quite as often. One is called a zero slope, which just means it's a flat horizontal line. And in this situation, the numerator is 0. So for example, if we have the slope of 0 over 2, that's the same thing as y equals 2, and you can see here it's a flat line right at 2. That's a zero slope. Think of it like a sidewalk. You're just walking along. You're not going uphill, you're not going downhill. It's just a zero slope. We also have something called undefined, which is a straight up and down vertical line. And this is when the denominator is 0. Remember, when the denominator is 0, it's not even a real number. So if we have any number over 0, that means x is equal to 3 because we have an undefined slope, and it's going to look like this, where it's straight up and down. So some examples. Determine the slope of the line. So the blue is our line, and we're going from negative 2, 1. We're going to go up and then to the right. So we're going to go from negative 1 up to 3, so that means it's 4 steps. And then we're going to go from negative 2 over to 4, and that's 6 steps. So our change up and down over our change side to side is 4/6, which has to be simplified to 2/3. So the slope of that line is 2/3. So from ordered pairs, we can look at the ordered pairs in this graph, and we have one ordered pair at 2, negative 2, and we have another ordered pair at negative 1, 4. So the difference in the y values, remember difference means subtract. So if we take this y value of 4 and we subtract negative 2, 4 minus negative 2 equals 6. And then we take the x values and we take this one, negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. The change in y over the change in x would be 6 over negative 3, which simplifies to 2 over negative 1, which simplifies to negative 2. So if we're looking at positive and negative slope, all we have to do is look at these fractions. That one is positive. This one's going to be negative because our numerator is negative. Here, again, our numerator is negative. It's a negative slope. This one, Numerator and denominator are positive, so it's positive slope. In this one, the numerator is positive, but the denominator is negative, so it's a negative slope. In this one, my numerator and denominator are positive, so it's positive slope. This one has the negative in front of it, so it is negative slope. And this last one is negative over negative, so negative divided by negative is positive. So here, again, y minus y over x minus x. So 5 minus 4 over 2 minus 1, slope is 1. 7 minus 6 over 7 minus 3, 7 minus 6 is 1, 7 minus 3 is 4. 8 minus 2 is 6, 8 minus 3 is 5, 6/5. 5 minus 1 is 4, 9 minus 4 is 5, the slope is 4/5. 6 minus 1 is 5, 8 minus 7 is 1, our slope is 5. 3 minus 0 is 3, 7 minus 5 is 2, 3 over 2. 4 minus 1 is 3, 2 minus 0 is 2, 3/2. 5 minus 1 is 4, and 7 minus 4 is 3. Our slope is 4/3. One thing I want you to notice is I always take this second one minus the first one. But it could go either way, as long as you're consistent. If you say the second one is y2 and then subtract y1, you got to make sure that the 7 is x2 and x1. You just can't mix them up. So how do you find the slope? The change in y over the change in x. What are the two types of slope? The popular ones are positive and negative.